Hey everyone, Gina here, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new here. So if you guys have been following me on other social medias, Instagram, TikTok, and even my community page here on YouTube, then you may know that I do have breast cancer. So we're just gonna talk about it. So, you know, let's just talk about it. Get yourself a cup of coffee and we're just gonna talk. So, a little backstory. I am, in case you guys didn't know, you're gonna learn a lot about me. I'm 36, I have 4 kids, and I breastfed 3 out of 4 of them. Well, not exclusively, but I'm just laying out the facts. So in 2009, I felt a little lump on my left side. Well, I thought it was a lump. So I got it checked out and it turned out to just be an average cyst, no problem. And the ultrasound tech told me that a lot of sweat production can build like cysts and things. So after telling me that, I'm a runner, so I run about 4 days a week. So I get really sweaty and I shower really well. So I get, you know, under like the breast area. I also have eczema too. So I want to make sure that I clean everything and dry everything appropriately so my skin doesn't get inflamed or anything. So 2 weeks ago, tomorrow, that day will never be the same for me ever again. So I was washing in the shower. Well, let's backtrack. A few weeks ago, I was in the shower doing my thing, washing my stuff, and I felt something. So I frantically called my husband to come in the shower. He was probably thinking it was going to be for something else, but it was definitely not for that. But he felt around and he said, "Oh no, I don't feel anything." So I kind of just forgot about it. But then 2 weeks ago, I had gotten back from a workout class. So I was really sweaty and I proceeded to then, you know, do washing and all of that stuff. And I did feel it again. So with this self-check specifically, because it's such a weird spot, it's at the 6 o'clock position right under my breast. So I took my hands like this, kind of like a claw hand, and like cupped it like this. And I was able to really feel like something significant in there. So I hopped onto my scheduling for my primary care and I got an appointment in for Monday. So I got a breast exam on Monday. She felt it. She also squeezed my nipples and I did have some milk and blood discharge coming out, but it wasn't like free flowing. So she thought maybe just my prolactin levels are high and let's just hope this is just a cyst because I'm only 36 years old. Breast cancer is not very common in women my age. So she says, let's be safe and let's check your prolactin and let's get you a mammogram and ultrasound. So cool. Got in the very next day to take those tests. So my prolactin levels came back normal. So that wasn't an issue. I had lost a lot of weight. You guys know I lost about 50 pounds and that could have caused cysts, fat buildups in my breasts because of hormone changes. Like a lot of things can happen to your body. I am 36. Again, you're gonna hear me say 36 a lot. And where were we talking about? Okay, so I go to the mammogram and the ultrasound. So did the mammogram, and ladies, if you're out there like getting a mammogram, like it's not that bad. Like I was so scared to go. And everyone I've asked on what a mammogram feels like, it doesn't hurt, but yes, it is uncomfortable, but it's not like totally like unbearable. So did the mammogram and then did the ultrasound. And then on the right breast, that's where she found the lump that I had. And she said it's not fluid filled and it doesn't move easy. So I'm gonna have to get a biopsy. So I was able to get a biopsy appointment. So that was Tuesday. So then Thursday, I got a biopsy. So a ridiculously long needle went places that you never want a needle to go to. Funny story, the radiologist came and he was like all calming and he's like, this is gonna be a piece of cake. And I told him, I said, have you stuck this in yourself before? And he said no. So after he said that, I knew I couldn't trust him. So, you know, it was not pleasant. We'll just say that. But if you guys are at all getting a breast biopsy and you want to know my experience privately, find me on Instagram and I will tell you everything from my experience. So that happened. So then they wanted extra imaging from mammogram. And at that point, I started to get a little nervous because I was like, he probably already knows something's there, but I didn't want to assume. So I spent the whole weekend like wondering if I have cancer or not. And that was definitely a long weekend. It was not, well, it was fun, sure, because I just laid low and didn't do much. But on Monday, I got the call from the doctor and yeah, turns out I have breast cancer. So I have triple negative ductal carcinoma grade 3. So what that means is grade 3, it just means that I have more than one tumor. So my dominant tumor is in the right, but then also other ones are forming next to it. So that's why they're calling it grade 3, because it's starting to like move in the breast. So yeah. So that was such an overwhelming day because she asked me, you know, she said, I'm gonna chemo, surgery. She asked me if I wanted to freeze my eggs. So right then and there, like I have to make a decision, like, are Chris and I done having kids? If we're not, I got to freeze my eggs and we have to do IVF if we want to have other kids. Like right off the bat, that was crazy because I've been unsure if I want to have more kids or not. But now the decision has been made for me that we're going to shut the door on that. And that was emotional for me too, because I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do in that department. But obviously, I have 4 beautiful, healthy kids. I don't need to take extreme measures to have any more. And, you know, that just made my heart go out to anyone who is actually knee deep in IVF, because I can't imagine that, you know? So I had an appointment with my surgeon yesterday, and this is where we're at. So I'm going to be getting a surgery to remove the breast tissue on my right side, but I have a family history of breast cancer. So I've been talking back and forth with my aunt, and I have my great-grandmother had breast cancer. My great aunt had breast cancer. This is all on my dad's side. My dad's first 3 cousins had breast cancer, and one of the cousins' daughter had breast cancer. So there's 6 women on the side of my dad's family who have either had breast cancer or who died from breast cancer. So learning about like my great aunt, she died in her 30s, but that was back in 1964. My aunt showed me photos of these women, and the first thing that really came to me was, I want to learn about these women, because it is just crazy how I am in the same shoes as those women in my family, but just generations later. So I really want to take that time to really look into the family tree and learn about these women who have passed and the women who are still living. So I think that'll be a really fun chemo project for me. So Ancestry.com, if you're watching, hit me up. So we talked about a lot of things. So the first surgery that was presented to me was a lumpectomy. So the lumpectomy goes in, removes the cancer, and then you just have a little bit of a weird looking boob, okay? But my surgeon was straight up with me and said, you know what, you're young, I don't trust your breasts, I think we need to do a double mastectomy. So I'm like, okay, great. And then he told me about the third option. So the third option is going to be a little bit more work. It will probably be a little bit more recovery, but I think it's going to be the best fit for me. So we're going to do something called an oncoectomy. At first I thought he said uncle-ectomy, and I was like, that's weird. Uncle? Onco. And he also said, you know, what's your cup size? And I'm like, that is really personal. It was just like one of those like off the cuff like conversations in my head. And I was like, he's asking how big my boobs are? That's kind of rude. But no. So basically what this is going to do is an incision will happen under the breast, and they're going to scoop out all of my breast tissue from both sides. They're going to take biopsies of my lymph nodes to make sure that there's nothing that is in my lymph nodes, because if it's in my lymph nodes, then the greater chance it'll spread to other parts of my body, which we don't want. So right now, it is localized in the breast, which is the best news. It's not in my lymph nodes as of now. So that is great. So I will get my breast tissue taken out, and then I start chemo. This has been the most difficult thing to stomach. Like, I can handle getting like a breast surgery, cool, but it's gonna be the chemo that is gonna be the most difficult road for me for a number of reasons. So, you know, I hate that I even have to mention this, but I am terrified of losing my hair, just terrified, because as a woman, like, my hair is like an identity for me almost. And anytime I have long hair and then choose to cut my hair, it's always like a very long process for me, to where I'm like sending photos to my best friend like multiple times. Like, what about this cut? What about that cut? So hair is like a big deal to me. So, the hair is gonna come off. So tomorrow, in fact, I'm going with my mom and my brother. They're taking me to the hair salon, and I'm gonna get a cute little pixie cut first to like get used to having short hair, okay? So the type of chemo I'm gonna get, it's gonna knock my hair out for sure. So I'm gonna lose my eyebrows, I'm gonna lose my eyelashes, I'm gonna lose the hair on my head. I'm not upset about losing my body hair. That would be kind of nice to not have to deal with, but yeah, I'm really devastated over losing the hair on my head for sure. So, yeah, I would have more emotion about this, but I take antidepressants and it makes it kind of hard for me to cry. So just know I may seem calm and collected, but inside, like, I am heartbroken, to be honest with you. So chemo is going to be really hard, and I don't even know, like, this is the part of the journey that's going to be hard. Like I have a road to healing. It's just the road to get there is going to be so incredibly difficult. And I just pray I'm strong enough to be able to handle it all. So yeah, so 6 months of chemo. And then after that, I will have another breast surgery to put breast implants in, because I wanted to have my shape. I could have just gotten a double mastectomy and been flat, but I didn't want that because my breasts are like what makes me a woman. Like, but that's just my opinion. Some people choose double mastectomies and they don't even really care. They're like, that's what my mother-in-law said. She's like, cut them off. I don't have to deal with them anymore. Totally get that. People will choose whatever they want to do, but for me, this just seemed like the best surgery fit for me. So what does this look like for YouTube? What does this look like for my job and everything like that? And I am fully committed to sharing this cancer journey with you guys. I really hope you guys come along for this new ride. But I also want to keep my life as normal as possible. So originally, I was going to take the whole month of August off to prepare for the kids going back to school. Next week, Chris and I, it's our 10-year wedding anniversary. So we already have a trip planned to go on together, and we're still going to go. My surgeon says, go, have fun, because you're in for a long ride when you come home. So we're going to go, have a great time, and spend that time together, which we really need. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I've had some people ask, I've had a lot of people ask, you know, what you guys, what can be done to help and all of that. And I will get that, going soon. My PO box is always in the description box. So if you guys want to send some cards or your favorite book, postcards, my kids would love postcards from you guys. And I would love to make like a little wall of postcards from all of you guys, like through this journey. I would absolutely love that. So that's always something. I'm working on an Amazon wish list also, because I think that that would be a good way to get some, you know, chemo essentials that I might need, but also some like staple things for a household, like snacks and like laundry, cleaning, all of that stuff. And then when the time is right, you know, Chris and I are probably going to do a GoFundMe, because it's going to be so much. It's going to be so much to take on like extra medical bills and me not working and all of that. So we definitely are going to consider doing that. We're just not wanting to jump on that just yet. Cause I feel weird about it, but at the same time, like I know we're going to need that help, that financial help. So I'll probably do it because I don't want to, you know, have cancer take away from like our kids' college fund or us being behind in bills because we need to pay medical bills. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably end up doing that, even though like my pride doesn't want to. So another component we are waiting for is my genetic test. So I did get the BRCA gene to see if I am BRCA positive, because if I am, then we might have to talk about some other things, like I believe it's ovarian or cervical, ovarian, I'm not sure, but also to know for my girls. So surgery is planned for 4 to 6 weeks. So when I get back from vacation, I fully intend to get back into CVS, I get back into Target, because I want to keep my life as normal as possible, as best as possible. So I plan to work through chemo if I can. We'll just see how my body handles it. And that's where I'm at. But I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to not let this, like, now it's going to be a part of me. Like, my life is never going to be the same again. So even, you know, God willing, I get to the end of the road and I'm cancer free, I'm going to have this like in the pit of my stomach for the rest of my life. Like when I go to scans again, like, is there going to be cancer somewhere else? Is that 1% chance that cancer comes back in my breast area? Like, is that possible? Like, I'm going to have that the rest of my life. And that is a big pill to swallow, but I'm just trying to put my big girl panties on and just get it done. Like, I don't know anything else other I can do than this. So here we are. And if you are around my age, or if you're a woman, or if you have nieces, daughters, granddaughters, get them educated on how to properly, you know, look for breast cancer. Like, this would be great if schools would even start doing this. Like, when the girls do their sex education, like adding this into part of the talk would be great to I remember in school, they taught us about like pads and tampons and stuff like that, but it'd be great if they were able to do this for breast cancer as well. So, you know, here we are. And I hope you guys stick along for the ride, but at the same time, here we are. So for those that have followed me from the start, or if you are just following me, or maybe you found me because you're searching cancer journeys, I'm here for you. My DMs are always open. My email is always in my description box, as well as my PO box, and I am always here to talk. So I hope you guys have a great day. Keep my family in your prayers and good thoughts, especially my kids. My daughter took this the hardest because she's 9 and she understands more than the boys do. Avery has no clue. But yeah, my big girl Scarlett, I love her so much. I love all of my kids so much, and I don't want them, you know, being without a mom. So I am starting the fight.